Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.
A fight over the $30 million estate of the late reggae star Bob Marley sparked the emotional breakdown of his half-brother, who was shot to death in a shopping mall gunfight with police, their mother said. Cedella Booker claimed she knew it would happen. According to her, she knew because another son, the late reggae star Bob Marley, had prophesied it in a song 14 years before. Woman hold her head and cry, cause her son has been shot down in the street and died, the song's lyrics went. This is the story of Bob Marley's estate feud with Ras Dennis.
This is the place to be for your reggae gist, facts, and culture.
For 4 decades after he lost his battle against cancer at the age of 36, the legacy of Marley's music lives on, and so does the legacy of the prolonged court battles over his estate. Bob Marley was survived by his wife of 15 years, Alfarita Constantia Rita Marley, his children, his mother, and siblings. Although he died at a young age, Bob Marley had been receiving treatment for the rare form of melanoma he was diagnosed with 4 years prior to his death. Being a member of the Rastafari movement, some sources say that because of his Rastafarian beliefs, Marley was unable to acknowledge his mortality because of belief in reincarnation, which prevented him from having an estate plan. Others claim that the followers of the Rastafarian religion believe that wills are evil tools of Babylon. Either way, Bob Marley passed away in May 1981 without an estate plan detailing how he wanted his assets to be distributed to his family, friends, or associates. In Jamaica, because he did not leave a will, Bob Marley's estate assets were to be distributed according to the intestate laws of the country. This meant that the estate was to be sold and the assets divided amongst his wife and children. At the time of his death, the reported worth of his estate was approximately $30 million. After Marley passed away, a legal battle was waged for his assets, including the rights to royalties from his music, which have amassed millions of dollars since his passing. 3 years after he died, in 1984, Marley's final album, Legend, was released posthumously. Along with his other albums, Marley has reportedly sold over 75 million albums since his death. The sales from those albums continue to generate millions of dollars. The distribution of profits from those sales is subject to the ownership of the song rights. Under the Jamaican intestacy laws, Rita Marley would have been entitled to 10% of the estate and would have held a 45% life interest in the remainder of the estate. During the administration of his estate in Jamaica, Bob Marley's wife was accused of having forged documents and signing them to predate his death. Those documents would have transferred the ownership interest in Bob Marley's British Virgin Islands companies that received royalty payments to Rita Marley. It later came out that the forged documents were signed under the advisement of Bob Marley's attorney and accountant. As a result of the alleged fraudulent activity, a lawsuit was filed by the estate against the attorney and accountant who encouraged and produced the forged documents. The estate claimed that over $13.4 million had been averted from the estate through the fraudulent transfers of Bob Marley's assets by forged documents. The United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit affirmed the lower court's award of damages for over $2 million and over $3 million for attorney's fees. Although she was not found to be responsible for the fraud, Rita Marley was removed as a trustee of the estate in Jamaica as a result of the attempt to divert the estate assets.
Reggae Gist Extra is known for its accuracy, balanced and unbiased entertainment stories.
Other than the claims to the estate made by his wife, the estate saw many other claims, including by his children with women other than Rita Marley, his former bandmates, the president of the label that produced Marley's early music, and Cayman Music, a publishing company that sued the estate. Chris Blackwell is the founder of Island Records and signed Marley and his band The Wailers to a recording contract. He made a bid to purchase the estate and as a result would have control over many decisions such as licensing of songs and copyright enforcement. As a result of the claims being made against as well as by the estate, the legal bill continued to grow. Marley's family emphasized their frustration with the legal fees that reached over $4 million in the administration of the estate. The family saw the legal fees that were being expended by the attorneys in the administration as a limitation on the amount that they were entitled to in the estate distribution. Because he died without a will, Bob Marley's estate was administered by the laws of Jamaica for those who die without a will. As a result, his mother did not inherit anything from his Jamaican estate. Lawyers working for the estate brought a suit to evict Cedella Booker, Marley's mother, from her Miami home, which was purchased as a gift for her by Bob Marley before he passed. Although no one contended that the home had not been purchased for her as a gift, the Miami home was titled in Bob Marley's name when he passed. The attorneys working on the administration of the estate believed that the home should be sold and included in the distribution of the estate. It is likely that Ms. Booker was shocked to be sued by the attorneys representing the estate because Marley had purchased the property for her as a gift. His intent to purchase the property for his mother was known, but the attorneys used the legal title of the property to initiate the proceedings in which they sought to evict Ms. Booker from her home. These lawyers, they come and they think, "Look at these little nappy-head Rasta people, they don't have sense," Booker says in a lilting Jamaican patois. "My son, Anthony, suffers a lot because of the same pressure that he see them putting on me. Him can't take it." Just before his death on February 19th, Anthony repeatedly warned his mother, "Mama, they're trying to hurt you. All I see is hate, greed, and jealousy." So far, only the lawyers seem to be receiving any substantial money. There were more than 20 involved, arguing in courtrooms from London to New York to Miami to Kingston. Embedded in the mass of lawsuits and inheritance claims was a smaller dispute, one that literally hits home for Booker. In another twist, a corporation owned by his widow, Rita Marley, and his 9 children sued Richard Booker and 2 corporations he owned. Who is Richard Booker, Bob Marley's half-brother? Among other Jamaica-based business ventures, Booker operates musical festivals and a company which gives tours of the village where Marley was born and is now buried. One of the primary targets was Richard Booker's effort to trademark the term Mama Marley for use in marketing a series of goods and services. The legal battles involving Marley's wife and children as they aggressively control commercial uses of Marley's image, name, lyrics, and almost everything else associated with the man who rose humbly from very poor roots in Jamaica to be one of the most well-respected musicians of all time. In the early 90s, the Jamaican Supreme Court determined that the exclusive right to use Marley's name, likeness, and image for commercial purposes would pass on to his heirs. So, Rita and all of Marley's children did indeed end up with the rights to profit from and sue to stop others from profiting from Bob Marley's name, likeness, and image. The lawsuit claims that the family uses the Marley name for restaurant services, food and beverages, hotel and spa services, and of course, music, entertainment, and merchandise.
They didn't want Marley's brother to do anything that might interfere with their commercial endeavors.
Yes, the family also didn't want Richard Booker to use the Bob Marley name to hold music festivals, which he has done for almost 20 years. This is particularly interesting because the Bob Marley Music Festival was scheduled to feature 3 of Marley's children as performers, even though they were 3 of the children who own the corporation that filed the lawsuit. "They make me cry too hard, they do me too much," Cedella Booker says, referring to the legal tug-of-war. "But the more they fight on me, the more God give me strength." As a 19-year-old in the rural Jamaica town of 9 Miles, Booker fought back from betrayal after Marley's father, a white overseer, deserted her. Later, she fought her way out of Trench Town, a ghetto in Kingston, and onto a new life in Wilmington, Delaware, USA. Cedella Booker lives there with her daughter Pearl and another son Richard. Marley's sons Rohan and Julian were also living there. That kind of family union was one of Bob Marley's wishes, Booker says. Him say, "I want to see you all living together as one." But the estate battle split the family, a rift that Anthony Booker could not handle, his mother says. "There was a separation that come," Booker says. Everybody should be together, and they were not together, and Anthony take it very, very deep. A month after a trip to Jamaica, Anthony isolated himself in 2 first-floor rooms. After 4 days of fasting and praying, he left the house with a 12-gauge shotgun and stalked through Cutler Ridge Mall. Police surrounded him in the parking lot, where in a gunfight with an off-duty Miami officer, Anthony Booker was shot and killed. Toxicology tests on Anthony, who had no criminal record, show no evidence of drugs or medical problems, Metro Officer Frank Wesolowski said. There had to be a personal problem there. Having a well-crafted estate plan by an attorney may have prevented some of the court battles that occurred due to the estate passing by intestate laws. While it is recognized that Marley's lack of a will was due to his personal beliefs, the aftermath highlights the importance of having an estate plan in place, whether a will, trust, or other planning documents to convey your wishes to the court about how your estate should be distributed. Thanks for watching, and do remember to subscribe, give it a like, and share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you again very soon for another video.
Many thanks for watching Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.